Section 2.2 is patterns and linear functions. Our goal is for a function that models a relationship between two quantities, interpret key features of graphs and tables in terms of the quantities, and sketch graphs showing key features. On page 103, we have in the solve it, you identified variables whose value depends on the value of another variable. In a relationship between variables, the dependent variable changes in response to another variable, the independent variable. Values of the independent variable are called inputs. Values of the dependent variable are called outputs. An easy way to remember that is independent is input. They both start with in. The value of one variable may be uniquely determined by the value of another variable. Such relationships may be represented using tables, words, equations, sets, or ordered pairs and graphs. Example 1 says in the diagram, what is the relationship between the number of rectangles and the perimeter of the figure they form? Represent this relationship using a table, words, an equation, and a graph. So as you can see, I've already set up where I'm going to write my table, my graph, my equation, and words. We're going to use these images up in the top right. So the first one we're going to look at is a table. We're going to look at number of rectangles as our independent variable, so we get to choose how many rectangles we want, and that will determine the perimeter, y. Then we'll just write the ordered pair. If we look at our table, we have 1 rectangle, 2 rectangles, 3 rectangles, and then 4 rectangles, so that will be our 4 x values. The perimeter depends on how many rectangles we have. So notice the perimeter of the first rectangle will be the 2 side lengths of 6 plus the 2 side lengths of 1. So that gives us 2 times 1 plus 2 times 6, or 14, and we get the ordered pair 114. When we have 2 rectangles, we still have the 2 sides of 6, but now the top and bottom are 2. So we have 2 times 2 plus 2 times 6 gives us 16, with the ordered pair 216. When we have 3 rectangles, the top and bottom are now 3, and the sides are still 6, so we have 2 times 3 plus 2 times 6 equals 18. Ordered pair is 318. 4 rectangles gives us a top and bottom of 4. So 2 times 4 plus the 2 sides, 2 times 6 is 20. That gives us the ordered pair, 420. Next, we want to describe what's going on in words. So I have that down at the bottom. If we look at our table to find a pattern, you'll notice there's always the 2 times 6. The 2 times 6 represents the 2 sides of the combined figures. So we always have 6 on the left and 6 on the right, and then the top and bottom changes. So to find the number on the top, we decide, okay, we have 1 rectangle, well, the side length is 1. If we have 2 rectangles, we have 2 side lengths of 1 next to each other, which gives us 2. So if you multiply the number of rectangles in each figure by 2, you'll get the total length of the top and bottom sides of the combined figure. Then we add 2 times 6, or 12, for the total length of the left and right sides of the combined figure to get your entire perimeter. So again, we're always adding 12 for the sides, just the top and bottom are changing. Using our words, we can turn this into an equation. Our 2 times x is 2 times the number of rectangles. That will give us the top and bottom length. And then the plus 12 gives us the left and right. Draw this as a graph. We just use our coordinates from our table to graph 114, 216, 318, and 420. Now we have represented this information as a table, words, an equation, and a graph. The next slides have all this information plus extra explanation. So step 1, we've got on the first and second slide. Step 2 is explaining it in words and writing an equation. And then our final step is to make the graph. Now I would like you guys to try number 1. For each diagram, find the relationship between the number of shapes and the perimeter of the figures they form. Represent this relationship using a table, words, an equation, and a graph. My hint is something similar is going to happen with the sides in this problem, but notice the top and bottom are not just 1 like they were with a rectangle.